Sending. Sending. Sending data. That's all I get. Turn down the heater. We've been out here a bit. Looks like we're streaming in all the places. So hi, welcome back to the design studio, where today we're finishing up a lot of Christmas stuff, and I thought I would step away from Christmas just for a bit and do a winter wreath. So you can put it on your door from Christmas and then leave it up until you put whatever wreath you put on your door. If you do New Year's or Valentine's Day, this will carry you through all winter long. Let me make sure I am live in all the places, because even though it says it is, I just want to make sure that it is. Okay. There is YouTube. We are good to go there. And I need to be in the main group on Facebook just to make sure we are live. It looks like we are live in all three. So if you want to save a copy of this tutorial, super simple. If you're on YouTube, save button. That's it. If you're on Facebook, a little complicated. You have to hit the share button, which is no longer a share button. It's the little arrow. It's the arrow that goes this way. A little curvy arrow. That's your share. Because Facebook wants to create a more minimalist look. This is what I looked up. I'm like, what the heck happened to the labels? So they want icons, no labels. So the little arrow is your share. Once you share it, it does a quick copy paste from my page to your page. Just make sure you download it within 30 days. Otherwise, it's gone forever. So if you want to get notified when I go live, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, or 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you, YouTube, for making things easy. Facebook, a little more complicated. You want to make sure you're following the page, and you have also liked the page. Like is hidden under those three little dots, and once you do that, it opens up a little menu that gives you all your options for turning notifications on for each page that you follow on Facebook. Website. That's what I needed to do. I need to turn my chat on so I can see both. I was cleaning up my shop today. Organizing, cleaning, sweeping, all of the things. Hi, Pam. Hello, Kim. Hi, Valerie. Welcome. Hi, Deanna. I've missed you, lady. I'm almost to 100% back to crafting. I can't thank you enough for sharing your talent. You are most welcome. Joan, welcome. Deanna, you are from Alabama. Elizabeth, hello. Deanna, again, yes, make sure you hit the like button. If you make no purchase from me, if you don't join my private group, make sure, at least on every video, this helps out content creators. Helps us out in huge ways. If you like the content, like the video, comment in the video. If you share it, it's like a hug. One's a handshake, one's like a hi, the other's a handshake, the other's a hug. So sharing are like hugs. Elizabeth says some of your posts won't let me comment. That is interesting. Let me know which ones. Like, I'm following you on YouTube on this video, won't let me comment, and then that way I can look that up and make sure there's no issues. Okay, chat is enabled. We are ready to go. Let me give you some beneficial information that is helpful to you. If you want to check out and join my newsletter, which gives you the free bow tutorial recipe that I use all the time, all you have to do is about halfway down the page, it'll say like, sign up for my email newsletter. That's all you need to do. Yeah, Facebook's being wonky, Elizabeth. So it's probably not you, because they went through that big, huge change. Let me know if you're having issues. I know you cannot share content in groups. You can only, what is it? You can only like and comment. Weird. Okay, I'm going to pivot you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're working on a winter design. Let me move the light out of the way so you are not blinded. Okay, everything's looking better. I still, I want to redesign my studio. I'm trying to get my husband to jump on board and join me. But, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I've been out here for 3 years, so I know I got this big, huge work space that is probably just as long, if not longer, than the counter that I used to use in my kitchen. But I just use it to hold stuff. So it's like where all my prep stuff is, future projects, supplies you want to keep ready at the fingertips, like pipe cleaners. So we're doing a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. After I saw the sign, I forgot it's a square sign. This would be a great design for the square Dollar Tree wreath frame. I just did not have one handy, and I'm not sure the dimensions on the, I have to look that up. I gotta go to Dollar Tree tomorrow, so I'll see if I can find one. Okay, so 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. First 5 sections already done. We're taking our pipe cleaner. We are putting it right in the middle of each section that is separated by the welds. You're going to wire together the 2 inside ones, and then you're going to do the 2 outside ones using a weld and that pipe cleaner to determine, and they don't have to be exact. I think at one point I went around and I was like, they're about 3.5 inches away from each other. What you will notice is in each section, your middle one is a cover for the 2 outside pieces. However, on the weld sections, we don't have a cover. So I'm going to show you a quick little tip that you can use to ensure that you have good coverage as you're moving from section to section. Okay. We are using this 10-inch, it's called a drift mesh, snow drift mesh. The difference between this and snowball is this has the cotton fibers that go continuously all the way through. Snowball mesh has it in like little balls. It's like a straight line, but it has little balls. However, I was able to cut this with the wood burning tool. So it's always good to give it a go because they're always changing things, which means that the type of materials that it's being made with is changing. So we are going to just picture an imaginary line right up the center, and we are going to pull that. I'm going against the curl because I want this to lay flat. Okay, and we are going to do the 6 inside ones first. So we're going to take care of all the inside ones. So I am laying them finished edges facing to the inside. Going to give them a couple twists. I was like, where did I moved my wire cutters. They're like behind the light, so I don't see them. We're going to remove what remains. We're going to tuck that little stub all the way in, and then we're just going to go ahead and continue. I like to use the Deco mesh that is the most tight so that it can lay flat, and then the other 2 pieces will also lay flat on it. Can't wait to show you the sign. I think, because it doesn't have a sticker on the back, so it's not from Craft Outlet. I think it was from Trendy Tree. And Trendy Tree like creates these limited edition signs and kits. And I think, now that I think about it, I'm almost 100% it's a Trendy Tree sign, because I think I got my cabana ribbon to go along with that. And it came with, they're like seasonal bunnies. So I did one of these for spring. That did really well. It was sold fairly quickly. And so this one is, it's a group of 4 little bunnies all huddled in the snow, because I know that some of you are starting to get the very first snow. I know some of you are not exactly thrilled with that, but I am waiting for our snow. I'll be happy. I think, maybe. I say that now. Mark my words. So I know this is going to start to resemble a pancake wreath. It is not. It just looks that way because we're doing those 6 on the top layer, which is where you would finish your pancake wreath, because you would start at the bottom. So this one we are doing here, and I'm trying to get some designs in the mix. We're doing a wreath on a budget, I believe, Thursday. So wreaths on a budget are very minimal materials, but they still turn out a beautiful design. So it's perfect if you don't have big budgets for materials. So that will be Thursday at 4 Pacific, which is 6 p.m. Central. I'm doing the math in my head. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, you've got snow in upstate New York. Nice. Thank you, Ruby, for always making sure I have my answering and including my questions. This mesh I cut at 19.5 inches. I hear a frog outside. It's just like through the wall. I hear this. It's a frog. So 19.5 inches, cut with a wood burning tool. It's called Drift Mesh. Got it from Craft Outlet. When they first came out with this mesh, I fell in love with it because it is so soft for a Deco mesh. So there is our 6 on the inside. Now we are going to work a section at a time. So here's my outside one, and here's the outside on the other. So we're just going to lay those Deco mesh pieces right on top of everything else. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Juanita. Let's see. Elizabeth says, haven't seen them at the Dollar Tree, just the 18-inch round. I see them from time to time. So I don't know if it's just overstock and they pull them out, or hey, somebody came across a box and they're like, let's put those out. So I thought I had a box of them here, but I don't. Because I always have people saying, what can you make with the Dollar Tree square frames? So I always kept some around so that we could answer that burning question. So, and on the edges, I like to fold them so that the cut edges are kind of not so flush on the outside. That kind of helps to keep the frays to a minimum. Okay. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to answer or to ask. So I think I've answered all of those. Okay, here's the next one. This is the last one going in each section. So it's the last one that has a little tip, and I'll show you. So on the edges, again, fold the edges, but as it's going to come through and prep for this one, remember I told you it doesn't have anything to cover. I want you, here's our pipe cleaner, I want you to take the edge of that one right next to it and kind of create a little pocket. So a little bit above, a little bit below. That'll help keep that area in between well covered. Glue gun is on, making sure that I have all the things going. Heater's on. So this one now is going to lay directly over the top. And I just give them 2 twists. Again, fold the edges just like that. Sometimes it helps just to move your pipe cleaner out of the way. Here's the other one in that section. Deanna, yesterday we had snow flurries down here. I heard that somebody said that the people in the south were reportedly getting snow before the people who normally get snow first. So it's like a first for southern folks getting their first taste of snow, whereas like the people you would expect it to do, like in the north people didn't get any yet. I'm sure they're like, well, we're fine. We'll wait our turn. Okay, moving on to the next section. Grab your 2 pipe cleaners. Just move them to the front. I like to always move that one to the side. We're just supposed to get hit with rain. Rain, which I'm okay with. I love it when it rains. Everybody in my family knows I love the rain. My mom used to hate driving in the rain, so, and I love driving in the rain. I would find excuses to get out of the house so I could drive in the rain for my mom. And she'd be like, I know, it's your favorite weather. You like to drive in the rain. This feels really thin too. There are some different places that sell this mesh where it is a little bit thicker. It's more of a jute quality. And so that's why I think that this one is just made with lower quality materials. It didn't cost them that much to make it. Make sure you keep your pipe cleaners handy. So here's that one that goes next. So again, one above, one below. And I'm going to pull this one out so it's ready to go. So it'll provide a really good soft base to build on. It's still going to be extremely lightweight, so there's no heaviness to this mesh at all. I wanted this one to be a little bit less Christmas, more winter. So you're not going to see an awful lot of Christmas elements in this. More natural stuff that you would expect. And then here we go. Putting this other one in. I didn't even turn my tablet on. Okay, go. Yes, I want to see my page. It's like Facebook is so slow some of the time. I was out here cleaning, listening to Christmas music already, trying to figure out when am I going to get my stuff up and decorated so that I can just, usually I like to do it fairly quickly so that I can relax and enjoy the season. You know, we always make sure that our lights are up while the weather's still good. But I told my husband last year, because they always say the accident most husbands are prone to do is falling off the roof. So I told my husband, I said, I don't want you up on the roof anymore hanging up Christmas lights. I want you just to leave them up year round. So we bought the old-fashioned C9 screw-in bulb Christmas lights, and we did them in red, white, and green, so they alternate all the way through. And for fall, we removed all the red bulbs. So wherever there was a red bulb, we removed it, and we replaced it with an orange bulb. So we had orange, white, and green. So it's very fall-like. So it served a purpose as to, hey, you know you have Christmas lights up all year round. And I'm like, oh, they're not Christmas lights. In the fall, they go to fall lights. And during the summer, we will replace the green and put the blue in, and then we'll have red, white, and blue. So super simple. And the lights are low enough that it's easy for us just to change out, you know, a third of the bulbs. So that's what we've done. Okay, got the last two working on right now. Here's this one. I've got the other side over. So the last one will always be your most challenging because you've ran out of room, because as you're pushing them all in, you're pushing them all together. Okay, that one's in. And usually right where I have gathered it is right where I lay that into the pipe cleaners. So you'll always see me take these and fold the ends down. And then here is the one that we know has got to go in between the sections. So I'm trying to make sure the one preceding it is pretty flat so I can lay the last one right in. You do that too? You hate cold weather. I love the rain. I love the rain too. There needs to be, I told my husband, there needs to be just a place in heaven where it just rains all the time. Aw, thank you, Charity. You are so sweet. I have known Charity for a very long time. A very long time. Her mom and I homeschooled our kids together. You are so sweet. Thanks for joining. Okay, so here is the fun winter snowy drift mesh. Check out the sign though. Look at the sign. Let me get rid of that so you don't see that reflection. These are the 4 bunnies. So they're all tucked in underneath the pine trees. They all got their little holiday scarves on, which we know is not really true to life, but it still looks cute nonetheless. So I figured that needed to go on a very neutral base. And we're going to keep the ribbons very natural. We're going to come in and we're going to add in some balsam picks, some pine cones, and some frosted berries, just to kind of keep that whole theme going. So this is the sign. It's a 10 by 10, I believe. I want to say 99.9% this is from Trendy Tree. So that is what is going to be our centerpiece. We're going to go around the outside first and put in all of our, we're doing tails, bows, and half bows all the way around the outside. And we're keeping it very natural. So these are my ribbon choices. So we are doing, it's kind of a red tan, and it's kind of like an avocado green gingham. These are cut to 30 inches. They're 1.5 inches. These are going to be our bows. We're pairing that with the little pine branches with the little red berries. They're all glittery. 2.5 inches cut to 14 inch. This is our tails. Then we're going to do the green. It's like a sagey green and cream. 2.5 inches cut to 14. And then we're doing the red and white Swiss dot. This is where we're pulling in the color of the rabbit scarves. So I'm thinking, let me look. All of the ribbon except, look, except for this one. This is from Hobby Lobby. The other 3 are from Craft Outlet. So we're going to be alternating those all the way around the outside tails. So we're the outside pieces. So we're going to start with the tails. So they're already pre-dovetailed cut. All of my stuff's pre-cut because you don't have time to watch me do that. And then I fold it in the middle so I can find the true center. So we're going to go straight up the center. I'm going to lay this right inside. One complete twist, and it'll always look like a Frito scoop. It's kind of like a bowl shape. I want you to take your fingers and put them underneath and push them out so they bubble outward. We're like inverting the cup shape to like flow to the outside. Then with this, I didn't dovetail cut it, that's fine. Need some space. Let me show you how to make these little mini bows. So let me dovetail cut the one side, which is just bring your wired edges together. You're going to cut from the folded side to the wired end, just like that. Super simple dovetail cut. Now all your Christmas packages are going to look amazing. So you are just going to measure off 7 inches. You're going to gather what is in my right hand. I'm going to transfer it to my left, and I'm going to take that all the way back to the 10-inch line so I can measure out another 7 inches. I'm going to gather. I'm going to hand it off to my left hand, and then I'm going to twist it, twisting it towards me. Going back to my 10-inch line, I'm going to gather here again at 7 inches. I'm going to pass that off into this hand, and then I'm going to twist this back around. So now we have super cute little mini bow. I'm going to bring our wreath back. I'm going to take what I have in my hand. That's going to go right here in the center. We're going to give it 3 or 4 twists. Again, go ahead and cut the end off. We're going to roll that to the back. Then I want you to open your loops. Okay, same thing. Pull your tail out. And then I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this one. Just like that. So these ones are cut to 30-inch pieces. You got the 7, 7, 7, 7, which is 28 inches. And then you've got some to allow for the twists. So this is that look going around right there. And then we are alternating this with our plaid going straight up the center, right inside. Okay, remember, take our Frito scoop and make that pop out. And then we're going to take the Swiss dot. You're going to bring your wired edges together. You're going to go up about 2 inches from the end and pinch in. Then you're going to take that and put that directly in to your pipe cleaner. Give it a couple twists, twists, twists. Remove the excess. I'm going to take this little end that remains. I'm going to tuck that around the back so that when I open my loop, and I'm going to right side the wrong side of my ribbon, just twist it around, and then you can kind of get them both to star. This way you have 2 different looks. I kind of felt like with the bunnies there, I don't know if they're all girls or all boys, but I felt like they needed a bow. Let's see. 11 years? That's how long it's been? Feels like longer. The size and the material. Kim, you mean the ribbons? All of the 2.5-inch ribbons are cut to 14-inch pieces. The one gingham that I did the bows with is cut to 20. And then the red and white is cut to 19. I don't think I said that. And then all of the ribbon, with the exception of the one that I have in my hand right now, this is from Hobby Lobby. Everything else is from Craft Outlet. So always start with the dovetail end. So 7 inches, gather, transfer and go back to the start. 7 inches again. Let it bubble up into a loop. Pass it off to your left hand with a twist. Measure out another 7. Pick it up. Let it bubble up. And then right here, do your twist. So that everything that you have in your hand is going to go right inside. And then again, we're dovetail cutting this. Did you already like put everything away? Yeah. Charity's on.
Hi, Charity.
Steve is out here. Today is Taco Tuesday.
Yep.
So we are going to go enjoy tacos at our local diner. So it means I don't have to cook. Right? Okay. So again, just making sure I get those all folded nice so that I can get that, you know, the arch back into those fairly nice. And then we can do the same thing here. You'll see, I keep readjusting my ribbons as we go all the way around. Did I answer your question, Kim? So the Deco mesh was cut to 19.5 inches, and that came from Craft Outlet as well.
Every time the soldier fired.
Wow. That's what happens when you turn your phone's volume on. I do that too in the morning. I'm like, Lord. Sometimes it's just checking the weather and I forget. That's when I forget I didn't turn it on silent. I can't wait to see how this is going to look all together. You know, bringing in some of the natural elements of the balsam, the pine cones, the berries. I think that'll be a nice touch. I had considered doing this on an evergreen, but I didn't want the weight of the base, the evergreen base on here. I wanted it a little bit lighter. So just like that. I had it twisted the wrong way. That's where it was. I was like, I knew I cut a little piece off. Where did it go? Okay. Again, fold to the middle just to find the true center. And then pop that out. We're going to do the mini bow again. So we are going to bring our wire edges together, cut, fold to the wired point. And then we are going 7 inches in. We're going to gather, transfer to the left hand, do another 7, gather, pass it to your left, put a twist, another 7, pass it to your left, and a twist. Just like so. And then that goes right inside. And then we'll get all of it sorted out. Nice fluff on it. There's that. And then we'll make sure that we dovetail the other side. Okay. Flip it. There we go. So it all just depends on what your preference is for what you want to be on top. I'm going to really like focus on the red just because it is the smallest detail in the sign. So I really want to, that's my focal point, is the bunnies in the snow. And we have those snowshoe rabbits here, little cottontails. So again, the half bows are just bring your dovetailed edges together, go up 2 inches, literally it's exactly 2 inches from here to where I've gathered it. Go ahead and lay that in. The ribbon for the mini bows, Joan, that's 30 inches. I know it seems like, well, you're doing measurements 20 or 7, 7, 7, 7, but that little twist that we do eats up some of that real estate. So I found that if I cut them at 30 inches, they would be perfect length because they end where the half bows do too. Okay, whipping these through. Here's that one. And then we're dovetailing our end because we're on the mini bows. So 7 inches, gather, like just a nice pinch. Then all I do is hand it to my left hand and go back to my 20-inch line. It just makes math easy for me. 7 again, hand it, twist. Put it back at that 10-inch mark, right at the 7, grab it again, put it in your hand, and you got to twist that around. Otherwise, you're looking at the backside pattern of your ribbon. What I should be doing is making sure that my pipe cleaners are straight up and down. It just makes it easier for when you go to lay those in. And then tuck the end all the way behind. Open up those loops. And don't forget to dovetail the other side. You can dovetail both sides right at the beginning. So you don't need to like, oh, I totally forgot to do that. You're good. And right inside. I was like, it's like a hug. It's waiting to hug the half bow. Right inside. And with the little tail, it goes all the way around the back. That way when we open the loop, you don't see your pipe cleaner anymore. It's in the back. And like I said, it depends. If you want your natural with the holly leaf to show, just whichever ribbon you want, put whichever one you have a preference for right on the top. I'm like trying to think. I like them up and down when they're going to receive the tail, and then sideways when they're doing the half bows. So this way just makes it easy as I just lay it right inside. And sometimes you get your pieces where it won't lay flat. Just move your Deco mesh piece around. So this one I'm going to cut both ends together. So I'm just going to bring them together and cut them both at the same time. That way they're both done. Now we can just measure, measure, measure. So our 7, 7, twist, 7, bring it together, twist, and I'm going to lay that right inside. I never have it prepped. I don't know why. Because I think I'm so used to having half bows. So I'm so used to them like being up and down instead of sideways. Do you guys have any other questions? What other wreaths would you like to see, or what other things would you like to learn how to make? We just have 3 more sets, so these should go really quick. At first I was going to do like a burgundy cranberry color instead of the red, but every time I put it up against the sign, it's like, nope. The rabbits are like, no, this is a real red here. So I'm like, well, I can't take it down a bit. Okay, up and down for the tails. And my glue guns are on. I think I said that. So that they'll be ready for the little balsam picks that we'll add in here. We'll bring some of the tree in. Okay. Gonna bring those together there. Helps if you make sure that they're the right sides. Okay, here we go. The last one, the 7. Slide it. 7. Slide it. Would help if I was doing it on the right side. Was doing it on the inside. The wrong side fabric. Oop. Now when I did that, it made it to where I can't slide it. Now I can. Twist. Let me just redo this. Once you put that twist in, then it's like your natural thing of sliding it just doesn't want to work. There we go. Twist. Bring them together. Twist.
Are your Deco mesh pieces 10 inches?
Deco mesh, they're 10-inch Deco mesh cut to 19.5 inches. Is that a question?
Yeah.
Why am I not seeing that?
It's on YouTube. What was the size of the material that you cut them to?
Oh, yeah, I answered that one. Kim's question.
Yeah.
I just recapped everything because she didn't specify whether it was the ribbons or the mesh. So, yes. The mini bows. Yeah. Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
The 19.5.
19.5.
Yeah. It's the half. The half is everything. Okay, last one. Going in. Squeezing that right in between these. So I'm just going to move these loops out of the way, because you know they're going to get in the way. And then we will attach our sign. We will make the bow and then finish off with our little balsam pine picks. Round the back, open, right side that wrong. Just get in there and give it a little twist. And then I'll go ahead and position that. Make sure those are up. But I really wanted the red on top. So I'm going to make sure that those are like predominantly featured right here. Okay. So, here's our sign again. For those of you that are looking to see what we're making winter bunnies. And I think I'm going to do the bow up here in the corner because I like the berries. Because the berries are only seen right here at the bottom. If we build a bottom bow, we're going to miss those entirely. So we're going to do bow up here in the corner. But let's go ahead and attach. And I'm going to attach it sideways. So just one on either side. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm taking my 1.5 millimeter beadsmith metal hole punch. You can get really accurate if you wanted to, and do it right at the 15-inch mark. There's that one. You guys know I generally just eyeball it. There we go. Before we attach our wire, we want to add a business card. Just because the business cards, when you stick them in with the customer's package, making sure the bunnies are right, facing up the right way. So we're just going to attach a sign this way. It helps because a lot of people tell me that's how they know where they bought their wreaths from, is based on the business card on the back. That's how I know where my signs come from. So I'm just cutting 22 gauge floral wire. Should probably just put these ones in first since I don't use them as often. And we're going to put those right through those holes, making sure that we've got equal amounts. And then I am just going to twist right over the hole. Just like that. That keeps the sign flush and hides the wires. Okay, so same thing. Just build it right over the hole. So just twist right over that whole location. Then it doesn't act like a spinner. It keeps the sign centered below. It helps with the stability. So I am going to, right where we had our center pipe cleaner, on that center aisle, I'm going to go ahead and position this one right over one of my pipe cleaners. Oop. There's the other half. I was trying to get it. I'm going to pull this in. I'm going to pull this down just slightly, about to the depth that I want. It just felt like I wasn't even hitting the frame, but I was. I'm going to do the same thing right over here. Gonna find that same little pipe cleaner. I like to readjust my Deco mesh to make sure that it is covering where I am feeding my wires through. I'm going to pull that down. And then we're going to fix all the corners. So I'm going to pull some of these up just so we can flush some of that Deco mesh around. I'm not pulling out the bottom pieces, just the top. You're going to hear that wire drag as I move it around. Now this one right here, this is where a bow is going to go. I'm going to just lay my Deco mesh right underneath so that it does not impede my ribbons from laying flush. But the ones down here, we can make sure they kind of pop out. There we go. Just like so. They're almost ready. Let's build our bow real quick. We're going to use the bow dabra. And these are the 4 ribbons we're using. So I'm going to do our green on the bottom. In addition, we are going to, I don't know that I actually have enough of this one, so I do have a secondary one. This is also from Hobby Lobby. And then we're going to do this one, which is from Joann's, when Joann's still existed. It just has joy. So it has a little snowflake and joy on it. So that's about as Christmassy as we're getting. So I am laying out all of my color choices, just like so. I'm pretty happy with the way that they are. We've got a mix of colors and patterns. So that is how they're going to go in. I'm going to move those to the top. Now this is the bow recipe that you can get if you go to KatsCreationsNMore.com. Halfway down the page, you can sign up for my email newsletter. It will automatically send you this bow recipe we're doing today. Not this exact one, but one like it. So we're starting with a 10-inch tail. You're going to gather. This is right side fabric up, so we're going to do a twist. We're going to place that right on the inside. We're going to bring this back up and around, and we're going to twist and place that back on the inside. Okay, I'm going to take this center piece here. I'm going to pull it over. I want to line this up so that my pieces, when I stretch them out, should end at 5.5 inches, which it does. We'll do the same on this side. You can just eyeball it, but then line it up. Oops. Stretch it out. And if need be, just pull a little bit more out. Make sure you're still on your 10. And then straight back out. 10 inches. Cut it. And put your dovetail end on it. That's one ribbon down. I already got these skewed, by the way. And now we're taking the pine branches with the holly berries. Same thing, dovetail end, fold to the wired edge. This one we're doing 9.5 inches. Gather it in, twist, place that right on the inside. And now we're going for 5-inch loops. So we're bringing it down 1/2 inch. Just put it back on your 10-inch line. Stretch it out. Make sure it lines up at 5 inches. Do the same on the other side. After a while, you'll pretty much know when you're right there or not. I'm going to give it a little bit more because I wasn't quite on my mark. 9.5 inches. Go ahead and take that. That mesh would be nice for gingerbread theme, Renee. Absolutely. Joann's had this really nice gingerbread mesh a long time ago. It was red, white, and natural. And they did it with that jute mesh. It was so pretty. Probably one of the nicest meshes they had. Okay, we're doing our Swiss dot. Same thing, dovetail the end. This one we're doing 9 inches. Each of the tails, we're going to drop it 1/2 inch with each ribbon we add. And then these are going to be 4.5 inch loops. So again, same process. Measure, stretch it out. If you're good, do the other side. Double check. And then back out 9 inches and do your dovetail end. Then that one's all done. Okay. Now we're doing the gingham. This one's going to be an 8.5 inch tail. After we get the dovetail on it, we will measure 8.5 inches, and we're doing 4.5 inch loops. So because we've already done it with the red and white, you can do a shortcut. Just put your fingers in the bottom one and the top and just pull till it's snug on the top. Same thing here, snug. And then just make sure you're ready for your last measurement at 8.5. And your dovetail end. Isn't that a cute sign? I love it. I love it because it doesn't say anything. So it doesn't say like Merry Christmas. It doesn't say Happy Holidays. It doesn't say Winter Wonderland. It's just a nice way of introducing winter all the way through. Okay, this one, it is going to be 8 inch tail, 4 inch loops. So 8 inches. And we're going to do 4 inch loops. There's that one. And that one. And we're taking this to 8 inches. And we've just got one to go. And I think this will probably do it for that ribbon because there is very little left for that. Just stacking them. Okay, here we go. See, all it says is joy. It could be joy for Christmas. It could be joy for winter. It could be joy because there's snow on the ground. So this one is 7.5 inches. We're going to measure, twist, place that right on the inside. I'm going to bring this up and around, and it's only going to be 3.5 inches for our loop length. So I'm going to bring that in just a bit. Bring it around. And just double check. 3.5. And back on out for 7.5. Final dovetail. And that one's all done. And literally look, their design, and then it would be out. So now I am going to get a red pipe cleaner. We're going to bend that down into a U shape. I'm going to pick everything up, squishing with my thumbs. Then I'm going to reposition so that I can drop my pipe cleaner right down on top, twist, and then I'm going to twist my stack in the opposite direction. Can you put the hook on there? So this one, okay, fluff board time. So 2 inch C-hook. This is a 24-24, 1 inch thick piece of plywood with vinyl flooring strips on it. I'm just going to secure that. Usually I like it this way. I'm going to secure that right around my pipe cleaner. It just keeps my ribbon from sliding off. And then this is the top stack closest to you. This is bottom. We start with the bottom. We move our tail. Either way, you can go left, right. Your loop's going to go one direction, your tail's going to go in the opposite. So in this case, our loop is going to the right, tail to the left. Go ahead and drop your stuck. On the other side, you're going to go opposite. So our tail is going to the right, loop to the left. If I pick these up, they are directly opposite of each other. Now, start working from the next one down. I'm going to take, I'm trying to get my, it's like I got that C hook in the way. And so I had to get my ribbon stuck on the other side. So this time I'm going tail to the right, loop to the left. Over here, we're going to bring our tail to the left, loop to the right. So it's going to stagger our color combinations between loops and tails. From here, we're just going to follow the first one, our green. Okay, then do the same on the other side. Just follow your green. Go back to the top, get your next color down. This is going to the pine branches and the berries. Okay, and then do the same over here. I'm gonna grab this and right over here. Going back, we're taking these pine branches and going on top of the Swiss dot, like so. Follow the dots. And then this final one now is going to be follow the gingham. Okay, just like so. All right, so here is all of our tails. There is all of our loops. Everything is flat. Nothing's been fluffed. Now we're going to fluff. So you're going to lift the top two tails, opposite directions. Okay, do the same over here. Opposite. It creates a visual point for you because it's different. The eye's drawn to it because it's not on the same side. If you want them on the same side, you can do that. And then I'm going to take the next two, and those are going right in between. Whichever one you want. I want my gingham in between these two. So I'm going to fluff the same way on the other side. Going to bring my gingham between. And then on the very bottom, we have our bottom 2.5. I like having the C hook in there because it really allows me to pull my ribbon so I can get a good fluff on them. So again, just play with what you want to see where. I like more of the traditional colors here, and then it's like rustic on this side. So same thing, rustic over here, traditional Christmas here. Now for the tails, all you're going to do is like the old-fashioned curling ribbon. You're just going to draw them between your fingers and pull them all out. Same thing here. You're just going to reach in and give them a fluff. You don't notice it as much on the very bottom ones because they're laying flat on the board. But if you're doing a photo of your bow, you would want to make sure you can see all the colors. Just give it a really good look. There's our bow. Just like that. This one didn't look so, not so pretty. Okay. There we go. All right, now we're going to take that off the same way we put it on. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull these down because this is right where our bow is going to land. This is where knowing where your tails and loops are allows me to be able to place this right where I want it. So I want this, not with my tails. I wanted my loops. I'm trying to get my my pipe cleaners in my hand so I can start feeding those through. And the one thing in working with this mesh is it will get caught on every little strand. It just never fails. Every little strand. It's like I pull it out and it's the smallest little jute fiber will just fight you tooth and nail to go all the way in. Same thing, one little fiber. Enough to keep you from pulling that down flush. Now don't pull it all the way to the bottom of your frame. If you do that, you will collapse your bow. However, you want to get it down to your frame and then go ahead and give yourself a refluff. Just like so. And then you can go ahead and fluff all the other bows that you've had. I'm going to take a little bit of this right here so that my ribbons could lay without getting stuck in this Deco mesh. So one here, I'm going to pull those up. So let me tighten that. Just go over one more rail. And now that bow's not going anywhere. It is nice and sturdy. So that is what it looks like. So we're going to add just a couple pieces of balsam, and it looks like this. So I get it in big bolts. So I think this one is 60 pieces. So they just look like this when they come out. They're wired all the way down the center, but the two on the opposite ends are not. So you have it all the way through. I'm going to take this down. So we want to give it some Christmas rustic feel. So I'm just going to like lightly place pieces. So pull a couple of those out. So I like to give them like a little scoop. Let me lift this up just so we can have some of those pine. So all I'm doing is taking and bending those this way. So we can have some around our bow, because you don't want them laying flat. You want to give them some movement. So you can see how just adding that greenery is already elevating the design. So I've got 4 pieces in here. We're going to add some to the bottom. And I'm trying to see where I want to put these. I think I'm going to put them in between my gingham and the red. So I'm going to pull those down and just kind of tuck them up underneath. So I was doing it this side. I don't know, I might do them on both. Let me see. Let me see. Do I like them on both sides? I kind of do. I think it's bringing that look in. Okay, so I'm going to start gluing these in. So I'm just going to coat the ends, and I'm just tucking them right into my Deco mesh. Did I do both? Yes, I did. Because now I can get in and just tuck them right inside. Like, I get them in the perfect homes, and then I'm like, oh, now I have to pull those all out. So there's that one. So I like them on both sides of the Swiss dot. So that's what we're going for. So again, I would have dipped these in my glue skillet if I had my glue skillet on, but I didn't. I didn't think I was going to need it. Just like that. Doesn't it look very... And I'll tell you how many of these that I actually use. Probably a lot. Right inside. So I really like them to arch. I keep... What if I only grab one or two out of that bunch? Yep, exactly. I'm grabbing like 2 at a time. So just a nice little curve. Coating the ends. I am just placing them right in between the little mesh pieces. They kind of just go right through the holes, and then of course, because it's Deco mesh, they love to stick inside. So I've got those. Gotta bring one in over here, and then we got to get the ones inside the bow. There we go. Nice and cute. Look how festive that looks. It's like snow bunnies. Okay. I need to pull these out, sadly. They had great homes, but we need to make them a permanent home. Otherwise, they won't stay. They'll just fall out. And these are just going right into the bow itself, just right to the center. And grab this one. Just like so. And I need one more. Just one. I should have kept all the little stems. It would have been easier to count them. I have one more going in on this side. Because you've got to make sure, if you're going to go all the way around, then you got to go all the way around. Okay, let's add some pine cones to those pine stems. So these bags, I just put them in sandwich bags, but you can get them from Hobby Lobby. They're like the perfect like mid-size pine cone. So again, I'm just going to line these. And I'm going to tuck them right at the very top, right here of my little pine cone. Like right where it forms the little V. Right where there is a little V. Just like that. All the way through. There's little ones, so it's kind of nice to have a variety of different sizes. Definitely feels very rustic. If you get some with really long tails, you can just cut them off. If you have these naturally growing at home, there is a recipe online for how to bake them to make sure you remove any hibernating critters so that they're not in there when you go to use them. What do you guys think so far? Do you guys like the look? Cheryl's like, everything's better with a little evergreen, right? I just wanted to control how much evergreen, which is why I didn't do it on the... Then I'm looking for more pretty pine cones. That one looks a little weird. Feel like I just rolled the dice. And I just think that they make the wreath all the way through. Did I do one way over here? I need to do this couple in the bow. So I've got some longer ones, so they'll actually stick up a little higher, like that. They're more of like a bush bristle pine cone. Just like so. And I've got one more right in here. We'll add. Just like so. Okay. I was thinking I was going to add the red berries, but I don't think I want to. Let me show you what they look like so you can see what I was going to do. Everything sticks with glue because they're these little berries, but they're almost the wrong color. These are almost, because they're frosted, but they're almost the wrong shade. They're more burgundy. So I think I'm going to leave them out. And, oop, I need a pine cone for the center. Steve, can you see if you can find me a bigger one in that right behind you? Like a smaller, oh, I might have one. I don't know that this one will work. Oh, this one's a little weird looking.
A medium one like that?
No, like around that size. Is there any in there? These are a little too big. Let's see if you can find, like this one, it's pretty, but it's just weird. You don't, it just looks weird. Do you see any? Because I have a bigger one, but it looks like he got crunched. Let's see, that might be too big. Yeah, I would like it half as much. I was like sitting there thinking, can I cut that and make it look smaller? Let me look. Huh? Do you have one? Oh, yay. Okay.
So this one?
I like that one. I know. I like this one. Okay, we're going to put one in the center. Okay. Just so that it ties everything all together. Look, that is such a weird pine cone. Look at the shape of that one. It's just, I don't even think I'll be using those. Okay. So leave it there for a second. Okay. I'm bringing you up really quick. Ooh, a little too far. So, this is what I showed my private group yesterday. We actually made this swag. So it's called the Inside Out or double-sided swag. So it is a swag that just goes over the top of your door. So no hangers needed. So this is exactly what it is. I'm going to pull both sides. So this is our double-sided swag. So it is perfect for people who want, like for your front door, you can put it in. You have to hold it up. You can have a door on the back, a wreath on the back, and a swag on the front. Okay, here is our bunnies. Look how adorable those turned out. Make sure you take the time and you fluff everything and you remove all your glue threads, because for some reason they like to make an appearance in your photos. So make sure you give it a little bit of love while you're taking your photos. Make sure all your ribbon tails are straight. Those are always my photo tips for you. Make sure everything's straight. Loops are open, nice and pretty, just like so. I'm going to try to get that one to pop through the center. There we go. What do you think of our bunnies? I'm going to zoom you in. Hold on. It's going to go really fast. Ready? Whew. Just like that. Aw, thanks, Jean. She's the best teacher I've ever had. You're like one of my all-stars. You've been here with me from the very, very beginning. Right, Cheryl. Christmas to winter. That's exactly what it is there for. And I don't think, will that shine on there? So that is what we have done. So I love having a little bit of a rustic. So this is our rustic winter. Never thought about winter bunnies. When I saw the sign, Valerie, I loved the sign because I was like, oh, that is so perfect. Because we have those rabbits all over the place here. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, come join me on Thursday for a wreath on a budget. We're doing a budget design for the holidays. So that's at 4 Pacific, 6 Central, 7 Eastern Time. And I'll see you on Thursday, either YouTube or Facebook. Pick whichever.